Hello, this is Thomas, K4SWL. If you're new here, I like to do real-time, real-life amateur radio field activation videos. And today I'm on the Blue Ridge Parkway here in Asheville, North Carolina, at the Folk Art Center. So pretty much right in the middle of Asheville. The Folk Art Center is over that way. There's a parking lot going all the way around here. And then right over here, there's a huge parking lot. And over that gate is the VA hospital. So this is very much, for me, a very urban Parks on the Air activation. And it's been a strange one. Actually, I started it, and I was using my Google Pixel 3 as a camera, and it overheated. It's not actually that hot today, but the direct sunlight is intense. It's hard to explain, but it's really intense. And the sun came out on it, and it heated up, and it just died on me. And before that happened, though, I was interrupted twice by people coming by and talking to me as people were calling me on the air. And that's always difficult for me to handle because I love promoting amateur radio, but I'm not a multitasker, and it's hard for me to do code and CW and talk at the same time. I just can't do it very well. I've only gotten a couple of stations in the logs, but in truth, in that time, I was barely operating. I think I just put out a few CQ calls. My spot got stale on the POTA network. And anyway, I'm going to try to make a go of it again here. And basically, you can see I've got the Yaesu FT817ND. I've got the Elecraft T1 antenna tuner, the Chameleon MPAS Lite. This is a little Pico keyer. This is a new thing. Actually, I built this as a kit probably in February or something, but haven't actually taken it to the field until now. I have taken it to the field twice before with the 817 and forgot to take the extra cable to hook it up, because you have to plug your key into this, and then you plug your keyer into your radio, and then tell your radio that it's operating a straight key, and this does all the keying for you. And I've got memory positions in here. Frankly, I only know the basics of this. I need to get the manual and read through it, because it's been a couple months, or actually it's been since February since I read through the manual and learned all the functions, so I need to refresh my memory. I do have another new thing here today, and that is the Chameleon UCM, which is their clamp that you can use on a picnic table or the back of a truck or whatever you can clamp it to, anything you can clamp it to. As you can see here, the clamp is really high quality, and it's big enough that it'll accommodate even those big, thick concrete picnic tables. And it's kind of funny. So Chameleon has been a sponsor of QRPer.com. I've known them now for over a year, and they've sent me lots of products to test out, even before they've hit the market, and I give them my feedback. I never requested this, though. They watch my channel, and I'm guessing that they read some of the comments from readers who were asking for me to take a look at this, because I've had several subscribers on YouTube said, you need to check out the UCM from Chameleon. And then I did a park activation recently with Max, WG4Z, and he has one of these. And he's used it with other antennas besides Chameleon too, I think, and loves it. And he had promoted it too. So anyway, Chameleon sent me one free of charge, and so I'm going to test it out. And I should say, anytime I receive something free from the manufacturer, my own personal sort of rule of thumb with that is I either keep it and use it, or I give it away. I don't do anything other than those two things when someone gives me something for free. Now, and I usually, when I give away things, if you've known me for very long and found me at a ham fest, you'll find I give away a lot of things that I'm not planning to use. This, I can tell, probably going to use it, because this has been really handy. This particular site, it's not busy right now. It was busier a minute ago. It's very public, and cars on both sides, and you have these really nice trees here, and I have come out here before and set up antennas in these trees, but you don't really want to do that very often, because if it's busy, you don't want to have too high profile of things out here. And it's not because of the attention it attracts, but it has more to do with the not tripping up people, when they're trying to come out here and have a picnic. They don't want to trip on your wires or anything like that. And that's where something like this UCM comes in really handy, because you can just clamp it to the picnic table so easily. You don't even have to stick a stake in the ground, and the ground right now is very hard. I don't know if you can tell, but it would have been difficult for me to plunge something in here today. So you can just connected up to the picnic table, and I ran a counterpoise out, and it's just going out here on this part of the property where there's a way less likelihood someone's going to be walking. You have to think about those things. And this 17-foot whip is extended all the way and not touching the tree here. But yeah, so I'm using my action camera to film this time, and I'm hoping I can get away with just its little stand that I have here. I'm gonna do my best at least to try to make this happen, because kind of messed up the others. This has been a really interesting activation. And let's see here, let me take a look at the screen and see if I can get everything in this shot. Here we go. The tough part may be getting the pull this over a little closer. You don't have to see the T1 antenna tuner really, but you can see the keyer. You can see my notepad. Hopefully you can read that. I think you'll be able to hear everything. So we'll just try to make this work. Now, I need to spot myself again. And in fact, I've moved to the 40 meter band. I was up on the 30 meter band before, and I just kind of moved. I just decided to move. So let's go ahead and try to tune up here. This is using the T1. No one's on that frequency because I've been listening to it for ages. I could set this to do a single tone, but this is what I did. So there we go. Full power output, which will be 5 watts. And yeah, let me give this a shot here so I can make this any better. There we go. I need to set up my Hammers app for the new frequency. Let me spot myself. Okay, let's hope we get somebody now. 40 meters. I missed at least 2 or 3 people calling me before, and if you were one of those people, I am sorry. I just had a lot going on here. There was a fellow parked over here that was asking me 100 questions about amateur radio, and I can't pass up answering somebody about them. So I gave them priority. And I should say, I'm doing this activation. The Blue Ridge Parkway is very easy for me to go to pretty much at any time I'm home. And I'm fitting in this activation today between a couple of appointments. So I will not have an unlimited amount of time. In fact, I really need to be leaving here maybe in about 30 minutes or so. And I've got 8 contacts to make before then, so. And conditions are not that wonderful today, I can tell you that now. You know, I do have my microphone with me, and I could do some single sideband as well if I wanted to. Oh, I haven't heard him in a while. You hear how his signal just disappeared? Those are band conditions right now. Yeah, good, he was still there. Yeah, those are band conditions today. Pretty nasty. That was sort of what it was like on 30 meters as well. It's in New York. I have the filter, I think, wide open right now, but if there were stations nearby, I do have a narrow filter in this, and I could... There we go. Alpha Delta 8 Echo Victor. Good old Ted Mack. He actually sent me, along with another person, a single lever paddle, and I didn't even need to finish that out. Good to have him in the books as well. I haven't had him here in a while. But yeah, so yeah, Ted Mack had sent me a single lever paddle. At the same time, someone else did, and I love those paddles. I really, really love them. His is actually with my TX500, so it's not with me today. 4 more. So I didn't bring my little manual for this thing, and it's been a while since I've used it, like I said, so I can't remember half the functions. I can't remember how to do beacon mode on this. If someone has one of these, maybe they can send something in the comments about it. But of course, probably by then I've looked it up. The buttons I programmed in here, in fact, are ones I programmed in back in February or something. This little thing right here adjusts the keyer speed. There we go. I'm running 5 watts with this guy, by the way. Lots of Ohios today. Should point out too, I'm using this massive Bioenno battery. It's because it's what was charged. I'd normally use my 3 amp hour battery with this, but the 3 amp hour battery, I wasn't sure if it had been charged, and I had to walk out the door so quickly today. Well, I didn't walk out the door quickly. I realized at the last moment I had enough time to fit in an activation. And so I grabbed the battery I knew was charged up. This thing would power me forever. There we go. This is like a complete Ohio path today. Ohio was actually where I was first licensed. That's where I got my novice and my tech, to get my tech plus back in the day. So my first call sign was KG8, what was it? KC8GLI. Whew, it's been so long. KC8GLI. I only had that call about a year before I changed it to a North Carolina call, and then later I got K4SWL. We may move up to 20 meters here in a second. Okay, let's see, let's move up to one of my favorite frequencies. Oh, I can't see it. I need to get my glasses. There we go. Okay, let's change this. I'm having to remind myself where some of these things are. Okay. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's move it back over to 6.1. And we need to tune up. I don't hear anybody on frequency. There we go, 1 to 1. That sounds better. And let's go ahead and spot myself here. I didn't announce this, so the reverse beacon network is not following me. Sometimes POTA acts like it spots me, but it doesn't do it. This is one of those times. Well, I got another spot here. Let me double check. But it acted like it took my spot, but it didn't do it. Yeah. Now it refreshed. Okay, maybe it did that time. Sorry, I'm bumping you around there. Now I need to change my frequency in the Hammers app, so I've got that correct there. 14.061. I'll get back up here. Have it ready for a call sign. One thing about the Hammers app is I almost need an external keyboard with it. I have done 2 transcription errors already. Okay, let me see. There we go. Gotta make myself a note. I forgot to put my 20-meter break in there. I've got it correct in Hammers, of course. It's done correctly in Hammers, so it's going to be fine on my real logs that I submit, but I still like to have a paper log that's accurate. Got 9 QSOs. Only need 1 more for valid activation. Surely somebody's out there listening, right? Yeah, so I did actually start another video, but because I don't really do edits unless I absolutely have to, I just restarted the video after I'd gotten those 2 contacts in because, yeah. So I may repeat myself here, or I may forget something. This is the kind of quality you get when you don't have any ads in your videos. you pay for what you get, you ad for what you get. I don't know. You guys have had such incredibly kind comments, though. That really does fuel my enthusiasm for doing this sort of thing. I really didn't think when I first started this anyone would be interested in kind of a real-time, real-life video like this. This is like fishing though. A day like today, you go out, you have no idea what to expect. Conditions are not good, for sure. This is not a wonderful day for propagation. But you know, if you fish long enough, you'll probably catch some stuff. Let's see, I may be able to get hammers to show. Yay. Nice, Oregon. It's hard to believe sometimes. You're sitting out here, a radio pushing out 5 watts into a 17-foot whip connected to a picnic table in the middle of a parking lot, basically. And you cannot contact somebody from Oregon, like literally across the United States from you. That was probably more like 56. Anyway, I've got it right in my logs. May play here for about another 3 or 4 minutes, but I just got a text for the next place I need to go. I'm doing a pickup of groceries, so I can't be late. Well, very kind of KI5LKS. He spotted me. It's one of the great things when you have internet coverage. You can kind of see. You can see who spotted you. And he said 559 South Texas. Very nice. Thank you for doing that. Well, let's go ahead and call again, but there's somebody probably tuning up. By the way, earlier, when I first hooked this up, I just hooked the antenna directly up to the back of the radio using the back port, which is great. This is one of the things I love about the Yaesu FT817 and 818, is that it has 2 antenna ports. You can pick the front B and C or the back SO239, and makes it very convenient when you've got an array of antennas and connectors and stuff. And I plugged it up directly to it, and on 20 meters at the length I had the antenna, which is fully extended, I was getting a pretty acceptable SWR. So I know I can operate this thing without an ATU if I want to, on 20 meters. I needed it for 30 and for 40, of course. Oh, you know what? I've been doing something bad. Well, not bad. It's just not good form. I need to be adding NC onto here because the Blue Ridge Parkway's in North Carolina and Virginia, and I really should be saying North Carolina on here, and I just haven't done it. That's the one thing that you add in CW. In CW, you don't usually give the park number unless someone asks for it, mainly because it's a big fistful to send. And so people just tend not to do it because the spotting network already gives you the park number. So, but when you have a park or a trail or something that goes through several states, you need to give the state number because it'll have only one park number, but it's like a separate entity when it's in North Carolina or Virginia, as for example the Blue Ridge Parkway is. So I should have been sending NC after that, and I just wasn't thinking about it. Now the great thing about this keyer actually is I can turn this down, I can turn the speed down very easily. I can even do it in the middle of a CQ call like that. So the great thing is if I get somebody that wants me to slow down, or I just hear that they're calling a little slower, I can slow down very easily. I don't have to go through any menus or anything on the radio to do that. Very, very easy, very simple to do. You can't really see the radio very well, can you? I don't know what it looks like. I've got a little tiny screen I'm looking at here on the back of the action camera. I may move down to 30 meters again and see if I get any action there, just for kicks. I'll give one more call and then I'm going to move. Okay, let's go ahead and move. There we go. 30 meters will give us a go for just a bit, and then I'll need to run. It's been so long since I was on 30 meters before. It's been like 40 minutes ago when I first started. I'm surprised more people haven't come up and started talking to me yet, but it's been pretty quiet here actually. think with this one too, with this keyer, you can chain messages. And I can't remember if I said this before, but this is a super easy kit to build. Very, very easy. Even if you're a novice kit builder, you can build this. The case, well, at least the front and back of it, I guess, are 3D printed. I don't know if the top and bottom are. Very affordable. I think I paid $45 for it or something. I think it's called the Pico keyer. I didn't bring the information on it with me, so I can't really tell you. But if you look in the description below, you'll see a link to the full field report. Now we have 11 contacts. Now, as I probably mentioned before, the reason I repeat the exchange so quickly is because likely that was fading. So if I repeat it really quickly, okay. Okay. And I've been forgetting to put North Carolina in there. Ah. Yeah, should be sending North Carolina. Bad me. That's the one thing. CW, I think even more so than phone, I develop like a muscle memory, and that muscle memory overrides everything sometimes. I'm gonna move my key around a little bit here. I should have probably organized my wires a little bit better. But yeah, my muscle memory takes over and goes ahead and sends stuff. Sometimes it sends 599 when I'm not thinking 599, but you know. I'm going to do 2 more calls and then I'm going to hop off. And we'll call this a video at that point. Okay, my last call. I would do some single sideband. And in fact, I'd like to do some single sideband, but I need to go pick up our groceries. I gotta keep the family happy. Okay, nothing heard. I'm going to turn this off. So anyway, yeah, so I've got a total, let's see what it says here in hammers. I've got a total of 13 QSOs. Now, for some reason, it doesn't always show on this little map where everybody is, but you can kind of get an idea here of what I've done today, which is not bad. Not bad at all. But it doesn't show every single contact for some reason. But it's very nice to do this with, you know, just such a modest setup. I mean, you could set this up anywhere. You could be in a, you know, like I said, there's some historic parks and archaeological sites and things at state parks and national parks, and they don't want you to mess with anything. But they're not going to have a problem usually with you just attaching something like this to the, temporarily attaching it to the picnic table and just laying something on the ground. That's usually not an issue. What's an issue is when you, you know, drive stakes in the ground, you have things up in trees, and they're worried that it could interfere with people. Now, the Folk Art Center, actually, no one's ever said anything to me about it, and I've gotten park permission to come out here before, but it's been ages ago, probably been 6 years ago. Yeah, I know, 5 years ago, because it was when they were doing the National Parks in the Air program that I asked. And I've never had any problem here. And this is one of the spots where I get a lot of questions from people that kind of come by, and I don't mind that. Again, this is messy. I can't remember if I said this before in this video, if it was in the previous one. This is not my normal setup. I wanted to bring the 817, and I've had it in this pack that I got on Amazon to do a full duplex satellite system. And so I've got my second 817 that I got a month or two ago. And I've never actually taken this out yet for HF operation, but it doesn't have a CW filter in it, and that's fine by me. This one has a CW filter. And so I put both of them in here, and I'm able to hold this around my neck and operate with my Arrow antenna. But I'm just getting all the pieces together with this now. I just got the inline recorder and the other things that people recommend. So yeah, that's the idea. And I got these from the Wireman. I had them make me some really nice BNCs to go to the Arrow antenna. So very pleased with this, but I didn't have this set up for HF operation, so I brought out my other pack, which I had other stuff in, to kind of piece all this together. And like I said, normally you would not need, this is complete overkill for this radio, but you know, if I wanted to operate at a campsite for 3 days, 4 days, doing park activations or something, that thing would power me probably most of the time without needing recharging. But anyway, thanks Chameleon for sending me this UCM. You're obviously going to see this in some other videos. In fact, I'm thinking now I was telling Max the other day, I want to use this to put up the Delta Loop antenna. And actually looking at this particular site, I could have done that here. There's plenty of room to put up the tactical Delta Loop here, and I could have done that as well. And that'd be kind of nice for being able to angle it and position it. But anyway, look for that in another video. I'm sure that's going to happen. And come to think of it, wow, I keep thinking of other things. I know I could connect this to the side of the bed of my truck on the inside. I know that would clamp down nicely. So I could use that with vertical. I don't know if it'd work as well with the loop, because the truck would probably interfere with the loop's performance. But a table like this, picnic table, even though it's got a big metal structure, it's also got all this kind of plasticky material, this composite material. And yeah, I may give that a go. Anyway, thinking out loud here. Thank you so much for joining me today, and for I'm glad that you appreciate videos like this that are kind of free form, unscripted. And thanks for all the support. You may have noticed there are no ads in this video. I don't have pop-up ads or any of those things. I think they kind of interfere with enjoying something like this, and kind of breaks your concentration. So I've turned off all ads on all of my videos, and I have no intention of turning them back on. And I keep getting really kind people joining me on Patreon, and there's a link to that in the description below, and also that have sent me coffee contribution money. through PayPal, and I appreciate that. It's not required. If you need your money for something else, use it for something else. This will always be free, and it's really out here as an educational thing, hopefully. Or if nothing else, you can find out what not to do when you operate. But I appreciate your support. Thank you so much, and 7 threes.